What is going on, y'all? It's your boy Anthony Greenfield, and we are back for another episode of Ant-Archy. So, as everyone knows, in the NFL, tomorrow is the final day of the NFL of the 2024 season. I know I'm crying too, but there's a lot of things we got to go over before the season officially ends. The NFL honors happened this past Thursday. The Super Bowl, a rematch of Super Bowl 57 with the Chiefs and the Eagles, are happening again tomorrow. It is literally a Super Bowl matchup that nobody wanted. Not even the girl that don't watch sports never wanted it. But that's here nor there. But let me tell you this. Let me actually start with the NFL honors. Okay? So, Ben Johnson, right? The offensive coordinator that got completely spanked when the Commanders came to town. Ben Johnson won Assistant Coach of the Year. Can you believe that? For all my sports junkies out there, Ben Johnson, Assistant Coach of the Year. Do you know anybody that would have beaten Ben Johnson? If you ask me, I think it should have went to Cliff Kingsbury. That's just my opinion. I don't see how Ben Johnson won Offensive or Assistant Coach of the Year. Yeah, the Lions putting up 50, 60 points a game, okay, but Cliff Kingsbury went from a booty Cardinals team and then came onto the Commanders the first year and put that team into the NFC Championship. That's just me. But then Coach of the Year, it didn't go to Dan Campbell. It didn't go to Dan Quinn. It went to Kevin O'Connell. That one I can see. Because that dude had J.J. McCarthy, who got injured in the preseason. Then he had Sam Darnold, which nobody believed in. Like, absolutely nobody. Everybody saw Sam Darnold starting quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings, and they all said, well, the Vikings are going to be garbage. Well, what if I told you the Vikings were neck and neck with the number one seeded Lions the entire season? What if I told you that all the NFC North came down to one game, but they each all played one game in the playoffs? Crazy, right? I think it's actually insane. I don't know about you, but I really don't like how NFL divisions or even NFL teams have so much hype around them, and then once they get on the big stage, they're just a whole bunch of frauds. They're just regular season merchants. They just don't do anything. Once the regular season comes, they're going bow, 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 touchdown, 500-yard game, 0 interceptions. Oh, MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, Comeback Player of the Year. Like, you'll hear every single thing out their mouths for a team, but then once they get into the playoffs, once they get into a championship state, nobody sees them. They all disappear. Coaches don't know how to coach. Players forget their roles. Players forget their zones and everything. And it's why do playoff time change sports so much? Because you're playing for a Super Bowl, the NBA Finals, the Stanley Cup, the World Series. Because you're playing for a trophy. Really? Now, I actually want to save the Super Bowl for last because, come on, that's the big cheese. So, Offensive Player of the Year goes to none other than Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley wins. Hold on. Saquon Barkley wins Offensive Player of the Year, and let me tell you, he highly deserves it. I don't know anybody else, well, besides Jamar Chase, I don't know anybody else that is fully a recipient of that award. Saquon Barkley winning that award is like you walking outside and you seeing a car pass your house. It's like, oh, it was bound to happen. But Jamar Chase had the Triple Crown. When Cooper Kupp got the Triple Crown, he won Offensive Player of the Year. Yeah, but have you ever seen somebody just almost break the all-time rushing record their first season with a new team? Have you ever seen anybody else do that? I haven't. For the 24 years that I've been alive, never seen it. Not once. But tell me this. If Saquon Barkley would have played that final game against the Cowboys in Week 18. If Saquon Barkley would have played that final game and he would have broke, is it Eric Dickerson or I think it's Eric Dickerson's record, all-time rushing leaders record, or is Barry Sanders? If he would have broke that record, would he be a lock for Offensive Player of the Year? That's a question to ask yourself. Because these are questions we need to say. These are questions that come up when we ask, well, why did this person win Offensive Player of the Year when they didn't play the full season? Why did they win Offensive Player of the Year when they could have broke a record, but they were so close? The fact that you got close to breaking an all-time record in the NFL is already worthy of an award. Because do you know how long an NFL season is and how hard you have to work? Do you know how long an NFL play is? An average NFL play is about 3 seconds. You call a run play, you call a pass play, whatever. That play will average out to be at least 3 seconds. If it's a run play, it may be lower than that. But if it's a pass play, if you're not getting blitzed, if you have all the time in the world, these are all like certain factors, but just know the average NFL play, it's about 3 seconds, maybe 3.5, but about 3 seconds. And you telling me an Offensive Player of the Year can rush for a massive amount of touchdowns, a massive amount of yards, and still win it with one game left in the season? He's still adding to his legacy, his first year in Philly. But let me go on. I want to be clutchy yap the whole time. So, Defensive Player of the Year, Patrick Surtain probably deserves it. I mean, I could have made a case for the interceptions later of Kirby Joseph on the Lions, but when you see how many games Pat Surtain left their star or number one receivers under 50 yards the whole game, it's actually insane. Like, think about it. Think about the top 5 best receivers right now in the league. Who are you thinking of? Justin Jefferson, A.J. Brown, Jamar Chase, CeeDee Lamb. Who else you thinking about? Nico Collins. I would say Tank Dell, but he's injured, and bless his a speedy recovery. But who else, though? Deebo Samuel, DK Metcalf. Maybe you could throw Christian Watson or Drake London in there. Terry McLaurin. You could throw Malik Neighbors right now. There's a lot of receivers you can. Oh, Tyreek. You can throw a lot of receivers in there. Garrett Wilson, Amari Cooper, Zay Flowers. The list goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on. And Pat Surtain said, all right, bet. Let me show you something. You get less than 50, you get less than 50, you get nothing, you get less than 10, you get less than 25. He's strapping these kids. This boy, Pat Surtain, is strapping them. And when I tell you, I've never been so amazed on how a corner can do all this. Like, I'm gonna be a Christian Gonzalez stan forever. I will defend Gonzo to the day I die, or until the day he gets traded. But it's the NFL, it's a business. But I would defend Gonzo to the tooth and the nail. But for him to win Defensive Player of the Year, he deserves it. I don't know anybody else that would have even came close to that answer. Who else? Comeback Player of the Year. This one blew me. I was at the gym, right? I was at the gym on the treadmill, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to watch the NFL Honors while I'm on the treadmill. I get a notification on my phone saying the NFL has announced that AP Comeback Player of the Year is Joe Burrow. I'm like, wait. How is it Joe Burrow? Because Gonzo did the same thing that Surtain did, but he didn't win an award. Okay. Oh, but Joe Burrow threw 300 yards and 3 touchdowns in 5 straight games. Okay. Look at his receiver, Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. That boy probably has one of the best receiver duos in the league. And you wouldn't have a 300-yard game and 3 touchdowns every game. Boy, if you don't have that wasn't T. Higgins injured the first 4 games of the season? So all he had was Jamar Chase. But he still won comeback player of the year. Crazy. Actually insane. You know what? The NFL is going to stop sleeping on New England. Stop. Because once Drake May gets crazy, we got Mike Vrabel now. We got Josh McDaniels. We got a whole new coaching staff. Same as last year. We got a whole new coaching staff. And out of everybody in that coaching staff, there's 15 years of head coaching experience in that room. I am excited for Drake May's acceleration in the offseason and for next season. And to round this out, we did offensive, defensive, comeback, coach of the year, assistant coach of the year. What was the other one? Walter Payton? Oh, offensive rookie of the year. Jaden Daniels. No brainer. It was between him or Bo Nix. But Jaden Daniels has had a way better season. And the defensive rookie of the year was Jared Verse, the defensive end from Florida State on the Los Angeles Rams. And he was going up against Brandon Fisk, his own D tackle. Hey, man. I voted for Jared Verse. That's all I'm going to say. That boy's a dog. I voted for him and Cooper DeJean for defensive rookie of the year. Offensive rookie of the year, I said Jaden Daniels and Bo Nix. I can't choose one. There's always another one. And then Walter Payton Man of the Year, I think that was Eric Armstead. So Walter Payton Man of the Year, for people who don't know, is basically, what are you doing in your community? What are you doing to make the people around you, the kids around you, and the buildings around you better? What are you giving back to the city? Now, earlier, I talked about what I want the Patriots to do in the offseason and how we would look next season. So before we get to the big cheese, I want to talk about the NFL draft. And I want to talk about the Patriots offseason. What I believe we should do. Here's what I think. The first thing, really, really, really big. I think we should release Ramondre Stevenson. Look, I'm still a Stevenson fan, but the fumbling problems really got under my skin. I do not like fumbling at all. I don't even like to fumble a girl, but I don't like fumbling the football even more. If you fumble the football, get out of here. You should not be here. You should not be playing football if you cannot hold on to one. Stevenson, gone. And now we need a second running back. Well, we still got, I don't know if we still have Kevin Harris on the practice squad, but we still got JaMychal Hasty and Terrell Jennings on, the backside. But I think we should look in the draft for a running back. So I believe we should get another bruiser. So I would probably want Travion Henderson out of Ohio State. Either him, if we can't get him, I would go for Ollie Gordon out of Oklahoma State. Now, Ollie Gordon isn't a bruiser, but he's more of like an elusive back. But I want Quishon Judkins too. I don't know. There's a lot of options at running back. But release Stevenson, draft a running back. Sign either Ronley Stanley or who was the other tackle I saw the other day? Oh, man, I forgot. I'm blanking on it. But Ronley Stanley was one of the tackles that I would want in the free agency. Receivers? Oh, my God. T. Higgins. Diggs? No, I wouldn't want Diggs. T. Higgins is one. That's pretty much the only one, honestly. Yeah, I only want T. Higgins. T. Higgins, Ronley Stanley, and then for the edge rusher, for what I wouldn't give for Josh Sweat. What I wouldn't give for Josh Sweat. So add Josh Sweat, T. Higgins, and Ronley Stanley to the roster. And then with our draft pick, listen, number 4 draft pick, we have 2 options. Travis Hunter, Abdul Carter. Those are our 2 options. And with those, it depends on who the Titans get. Let's say the Titans go quarterback because the Browns and Giants may go quarterback too. That's 3 quarterbacks taken in the top 4 picks. That means we have Hunter and Carter both at our fingertips. We just got to choose one. But let's say the Titans choose Abdul Carter. At 4, we're taking Travis Hunter, and then vice versa. If the Titans choose Travis Hunter, then we get Abdul Carter. I'm cool with either pick. Like, at first, I was like, Travis Hunter. Give me him. I want him. But now I'm seeing Abdul Carter. Like, I'm watching his college football playoff run, and I'm looking, and I'm like, boy, what? The fact this dude took one hand and threw the lineman out of the way. His other hand was free. His one hand was up this way, and his hand is just free moving. And he's reaching for a sack and a tackle. And I'm just like, I need you in my life. I want to see you play for my team on Sundays. I want to see you play Sunday night in DC against the Commanders. Like, bro, I would buy every single thing Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter related if I see one of them too in May. May. Well, that was my short and brief what I want the Patriots to do. There's more players that I would want to get, but those were the players that I've seen recently and I talked about recently. Now, as we come in, the final day of the NFL season is tomorrow. As I told you already. But we are going to see the Chiefs and the Eagles in a rematch of Super Bowl 57. But I didn't want this matchup. I wanted the Ravens and the Commanders. I wanted the Ravens and the Lions. I wanted the Bills and the Commanders. No one cares what you want. No one cares what you asked for. No, nobody coming to see you, Otis. No one coming to see you play. No one asked for your matchups. You're not getting paid for none of this. You're just sitting on your couch, making bets on FanDuel Sportsbook and losing money. And you probably going to throw a Super Bowl party that's like way over the top just to have 7 TVs playing one game. No one asked you. Literally nobody asked you. But here's my prediction for the Super Bowl. Saquon Barkley is going to get 2 touchdowns this game. The whole game, 2 touchdowns. The first one will probably be, this is a huge bet. But I say Saquon is going to score the first touchdown of the game. It's going to be a rushing touchdown if he doesn't get stopped within the 5. If they get stopped outside of the 5-yard line, Saquon will rush for a touchdown that very next play. If it's inside the 5, obviously it's the Eagles. They're going to do a touch push. And it's going to be Jalen Hurts' first rushing score of the game. Because I solely do not believe that the Chiefs have what it takes to punch early. I don't. I think the Eagles are playing for a lot more. Yeah, the Chiefs are playing for a 3-peat. Oh, we want to be the greatest team to ever know. But the Eagles, as a Patriots fan, the Eagles are playing for something much more greater. The Eagles are playing to break down the dynasty. They're trying to stop it. They stopped our dynasty. Not really, but they stopped our 3-peat. We could have 3-peat. We could have beat the Rams, the Falcons, but we didn't beat the Eagles. The Niners. The Chiefs beat the Eagles, the Niners, and they could beat the Eagles again. Tomorrow's game is really going to show what can the Chiefs do? What can the Eagles do? Now going into the offseason, you have to continue to add to the team. I was listening to, I think it was in the barbershop the other day, and someone told me that every time a team goes to the championship or every time a team goes to the finals, they always add more. You don't ever see the same exact team. It's either somebody walks or somebody finds a better opportunity somewhere else, or somebody gets added and gets obviously the draft, but in this case, the draft doesn't count. So I'm talking about strictly free agency. If you win a Super Bowl, is your logic saying, well, we just run it back with the same team because this is a championship winning team, right? But no. In sports, you can have the same team multiple years, but that doesn't mean you're going to win a championship every year. That don't mean nothing. Me, I'm a flag football coach around the DMV. I've had the same teams for 5, 6, 7 seasons. And there was a time where I won a championship 3 seasons in a row. We could have won a three-peat, but one of our greatest weapons did not play that day. You will never have the same team as you won the championship. You are going to have new people every year. You're going to have new personnel every year. You're going to have a new line, a new receiver, a new running back, a new coach every single year. You cannot run it back fully with the same squad. So let me tell you this right now. Eagles first score. I think the odds on that probably like plus 20,000. And the first one being Saquon, definitely plus 20,000. I'm going to have to check the lines on FanDuel Sportsbook again. But first touchdown goes to Saquon. At the halftime score, I could see it being 21-17 Chiefs. I can see that. I can see 21-17 Chiefs. Because the Chiefs defense does come up in special cases. And then I'm going to bet, I don't know what the line is, but I'll just say the line is like 47.5. I say for the whole game, I'm betting the over. For the whole game, I'm betting the over. And the final score is going to, everybody quote me on this. So if I'm right, I want you to sub to this channel and I want you to tell and share this with a friend. I am a sports fanatic. The final score, after betting the over, is going to be 35-41 Eagles. Eagles put on an offensive onslaught in the second half. I think from 21-17 is going to be 35-41. Eagles win it. And the Eagles are Super Bowl 59 champs going into a year of bragging rights. All right, so that's everything I need to say. You've heard Clutchy yap for the last 22 minutes. Now, there is one special person that I actually want to ask about their perspective on the Super Bowl. So this guy, he has a brand new show on the Leon Thomas Network. And this dude is called Wake Up Cambridge. And I'm telling you, it's pretty nice. It's a nice little town in Pennsylvania. And I want to bring on my number one producer, Mr. Jay the producer. Can you please come up here and tell us your Super Bowl predictions? Your mic is muted, buddy. Can't hear you.
Great show, Anthony. Thank you. It's Ambridge, not Cambridge.
Hey, I've been saying it this whole time. You're the first person ever like, you're the first person ever correct me. I've been saying Cambridge this whole time. Now I feel slow.
All right, my prediction, short and sweet. Eagles going to win 38-35. Saquon Barkley is going to score a plus 50-yard run at least once during the game. He's going to be the MVP, over 150 yards. I don't know what the over-under on that is, but it's going to be over him. And was it Jalen Carter, the defensive lineman?
Yeah, Jalen Carter. Yeah.
He's going to be a beast on the defense. He's going to rock Mahomes. He's just going to tackle him. I'm from Pittsburgh. I hate Indiana, Philadelphia. But I like Saquon. He's One of the, I'd say top 10 running backs ever. If he wouldn't have been hurt, he probably would be. But that's my
If
2 cents worth.
if you put Saquon Barkley in the top 10 of all time, who are the other 9?
Barry Sanders, number 1.
Okay, that's a no-brainer.
Walter Payton.
Okay.
Emmett.
Okay. I got 3 in my head you didn't say yet. I got 3 in my head. I'm waiting for you to say 3 names.
OJ. I don't know if you
OJ?
Yeah.
OJ wasn't one of the names, but okay.
Eric Dickerson.
He's one of them.
I'm drawing a blank now.
Okay.
Yeah.
The one of them was Bo Jackson, and the other one was LT.
Bo Jackson is the best athlete ever in sports.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and I could throw Jim Brown in there.
I did forget about him. Yes, you're correct. And a lot of these, I admire Saquon, but he didn't do it in 14 games or 16 games.
I mean, it's only one season in Philly. I'm not saying he has a Hall of Fame career in Philly his first year. I'm not saying that.
No.
But what I am saying is he's put on an amazing performance in one season.
Yeah.
Now look at if you compare all those legendary running backs, right? The very first year that you sign with a new team, or for the players that only play on one team, let's say their rookie season, right? Let's say their rookie season, and compare that to Saquon's first season in Philly. How did that stack up?
Yeah, if he wasn't injured for almost 2 complete seasons
Mm-hmm.
in New York and have one of the worst offensive lines and quarterbacks,
Yeah,
he'd have a lot higher stats. So, but if he wins the Super Bowl and he's the MVP, that bumps him up in the pecking order in my eyes, because it's all about championships.
Yeah. Can you win a championship? You can win Offensive Player of the Year. You can win most rushing yards, most touchdowns, most yards after contact. That's cool. But can you win championships?
Yep. All right, man. That's all I got.
All right. Sound good to me.
We'll talk next week.
All right. See you next week, Jay. So that is tonight's episode of Ant-Archy. I want to thank everybody for tuning in and listening to Clutchy Yap tonight. I know I didn't have I don't have no guests, so it's just me here talking. All right. I want to thank everybody for watching tonight's show. Please stay tuned for any and all gaming streams that I have Mondays at 7 and Fridays at 8. I am playing more games now. The main games I'm playing are Warzone, the new season of Apex when it comes out, and I do be playing Fortnite from time to time, but I only play it on stream. And I may get back into Sparking Zero because now they dropped the Dragon Ball Superhero DLC. So I may play some online matches with those. And finally, if you want to catch my brand new Ant-Archy shows, you can always catch them here on YouTube or Twitch. Saturdays at 8:20. Any and all times, I will be here. Okay, but please understand, I have a life outside of this, so I may not be here every week, but I do have a life, and I will be here to talk to you guys. All right, everybody, stay blessed, stay passionate, and stay positive, guys. This is Anthony Greenfield signing off. Whoop.
You there?
Still live, Jay.
Yeah.
Ah.
Right, Chuck. You
Major
said
shit.
never want to come on your show.
Huh?
You said never want to come on your show.
That was when I first started. When I first started, you was like, "Oh, I don't want to be on your show."